Very good afternoon, everyone. We are all set for another intriguing, another fascinating clash in the ongoing Santosh Trophy. This is the 17th edition of the Football Championship Santosh Trophy, and we have two teams who are kind of in pretty contrasting positions in terms of the points table, right? The final stages, locking horns with each other. At one end, we've got Odisha, who will be hoping to register that first win of the final round. Got off to a bit of an offbeat start altogether, a draw and a defeat, which they will try and rectify. But again, across them, a superpower last year's finalist Kerala, who has also been doing a phenomenal bit of job altogether. But that being said, I think both these sides. Right, we are underway. There was a bit of a brief hold-up that happened due to technical glitch, of course. But yes, with that being said, you're underway on your frame, kicking from the left to the right in their white and blues. It's runners up from the last time, Kerala. And on your frame right now, in hot pursuit of the ball, in their flamboyant red-orange, it's Odisha. And yes, as said before, obviously, for Odisha, it has been a phenomenal run in their group stages. But then the moment they stepped up in the league with the boys, they have somehow missed out their hold, and they are trying to get it rectified. Obviously, goes without saying, I think they are the first win taken to win this one against Kerala will be special because, of course, the kind of stature that Kerala commands, the kind of players that Kerala has. But at the same time, they'll have to pay with every possible option that they can garner. We'll quickly let you know about the starting 11 of both the sides for Kerala. Under the sticks, it's Alkesh Raj. Apology, it's Hajmal S. Today, he's the one who started under the sticks. Alkesh is on the bench in the last game concluded towards the latter half. And then in the defense, they have got Sandeep, Sanju, their captain, Manoj and Bibin. The four-man midfield, it's Mohammad Ashik, Arjun M, and Mohammad Riaz. And up top, it's Mohammad Itzal, the very special kid who's been phenomenal in recent times, pairing up with Shujit. For Odisha, it's Siddhanta Padhan, under the sticks. The four-man backline, they've got Ranjan Sarain, Vishal Tiga, Rakshoram, and Avinash Muduli. 10 experienced names altogether, and then in the midfield, Arpan Lakra and Gaurav TV in the backline. Hence the needed transfer for Odisha. Unfortunately, the flag had already went up to that fourth movement there from Kartik Hansal. Was called in its track, but that was a good run from Kartik. I think he just got to step in, or he just, the initial movement, a bit too late to be honest. Could have been a close call, but nonetheless, I think the early attempt will give him the incentive, the early attempt will give him kind of momentum that he wants in his sales. And yes, talking about the Odisha midfield, as we said, Arpan Lakra and Gaurav Negi playing a defensive role out there. Manish Hansna, Arpan Lakra and Kartik Antal, the team's captain, are in a three-man attacking mid-time. And then above them, it's Srikanth Vidaba. And Odisha, under supervision of Akshay Das. At the other end for Kerala, it's Shafiq Hassan. Trying to move early. But Odisha, right now, heavy on the possession. Kerala needs some time to settle down. We've seen that in the last couple of games as well. I think against Punjab, they conceded a goal in the first half. It was eventually a sizzling display in the second half that allowed them to turn things around. But today, they are up against Odisha, and Odisha, I think, considering the fact that they have not secured a victory in the first games of the final round, after an impressive run in the group stages, they'll be kind of pushing hard. That's a lovely ball. Kerala on the move for chance here. And a brilliant save from Siddhanta Padhan. The possession still lingering around, and eventually Odisha coming up with a towering clearance. There was an excellent run there from Srijin. A lovely first touch and then pulled the trigger. But I think the distance from the goal was a bit too much, and the kind of shot that he came in with was a bit too feeble as well, thereby making life a lot easier for an advancing Siddhanta Padhan. But that's an early sign of intent. That's an early warning sign that's already fired by Kerala. It's going to be a long throw in taken by Sandeep. He's got his arms heavily taped. A little header out there, parked out of the ground. Both the sides, they've also got an impressive bench as well. That's another lovely ball into the box with Siddhanta Padhan, ensuring the fact that he was totally under control, does well to leap past the marauder in front of him and collect the ball. A quick look at the bench strength for Kerala. Ajay Alex, Tejas Krishna, Abu Bakar Dilshad, Viknesh, Sajish, Mohammad Ashar, Mohammad Jaseen, Abdul Badish, Asif OM, Mohammad Sanan, and Alkesh Raj. Good movement there, good cross floated in from the right, still a Kerala. And another long range is attempted, however, off target. The ball goes out of the park. We'll take a look there, lovely little receive. And then the moment Mohammad Ashik, he found the shooting lane open. He was not hesitant in whamming one towards the second post. Well, a quick look at the Odisha bench as well. Nirmal Pogba, Ganesh Shetty,
Kerala Blue.
Pintu Shamal, Somesh Mohanty, Suresh Arya, Jitu Muduli, Chandra Mohan Murmu, Soumya Ranjan Das, Season Tudu, and Rahul Aram. Seven minutes in the first 7 minutes, both the teams to understand what exactly are their opposition going to go. They are exactly going to do, what plan of action will be, and just react from there on. More of a watch and adapt approach than being proactive. Kartik Hantal, another very experienced player for Odisha. I think a few of the players, they are playing for a time. The likes of Vishal Tiggal, Rakesh Aram, Abhinash is another one of them, Arpan Lakra, Kartik Hantal as well. I think it just makes this team with one that can actually boast about solid understanding. Well, all the way to Siddhanta. Siddhanta already tested a couple of times and he's come up in flying, or rather he's come out with flying colours. The Dhakuakhana football stadium. I think most of the matches we've had a packed house. Once again, kind of testify to the unbridled love that Assam has for football. A little poke in front. The idea wasn't wrong, to be honest. I wanted to lead off in a galloping stride of his teammate, but then the ball kind of overpowered on that, going all the way to Siddhanta once again. Another ball sent down, and Hatsal coming out of his Hajmal rather. Sincere apologies for that again. Hajmal coming out of his line, collecting without much of a fuss. And good passing as well. The passing accuracy is a very important factor that Kerala will try and change. In the last game as well, Kerala, when they were leading, from there on, too many concessions, too many turnovers in that final third of theirs kind of acted. I think from the start, they'll have to focus about the to understand what their team needs and what their team wants from them. Siddhanta. Again, trying to clear that away. A chance here for Shijin, cutting in sharply, takes a tumble. The referee says, get back up, please. Siddhanta picks it up and guns it forward. Could have been a decent chance in the making, but it was not to be. And finally, Sanju with a bit of a towering leap on that one, spelling it all the way to Hajmal. A nice little flicker out there, controlling the ball to action. It was Bivin Ajayan a few moments ago. He came up with a scarring cross and again trying to knock it forward. This time the ball just eluding the front, and now along the far right, Kerala trying desperately. Kartik Hantal actually does well, but then process, he might have tripped his counterpart. There, I think he was successful in getting the ball away, and then came the consequent tackle. which kind of shook things up. The referee instantly blowing his whistle on that occasion, awarding a free kick. They'll take their time. They are in no rush for now. Again, trying to win far left. Does well. A little push back. Sandeep looking in great nick. Unfortunately, deposits the ball. Trying to turn things over. Only for them to lose the ball. What an opportunity it could have been. What thread it forward. But I think he was in a bit of a cursory there. And the ball rolling out of the park. Could have been a chance here for Kerala. They're looking dangerous every time they come out. Looking for Orthodox opening goal here. They want to score early and they want to get a cushion as well. The added pressure of being the finalists from last year, where they went down fighting in the last minute of the game against West Bengal. They'll try and redo things this year. They'll try and redeem themselves. A few heated instructions as well from the coaches. Shijin, unable to break free. Can be an opening only for Odisha to actually keep the ball at their feet, but eventually the that should have split the defense apart. That wasn't there. Come knocking on the doors again through the center. A little flip into the box, and the offside flag is on. They'll have to return empty-handed from this entire attack. We'll take a look. Yeah, marginally offside, just breaking free from the clutch of the defenders. I think he had to hold himself back for a second more and things could have been in place. But once again, in football, second is almost close to eternity. Empires can topple in seconds in football. New history can be written in seconds. Legends can be born. So watch out for that. That's how quickly football oscillates. That's how quickly football rotates. That's how quickly football revolves. And that is why, as a footballer, you have to watch out for what's up next against you. It's a game, the finest of margins. And if you are not where you should be, being closer won't get you there. But nonetheless, Kerala, they've shown the promise so far in the tournament. 4 points from the first two games in the final round. That's a good long ball onto the far right, and a tussle going on. Bibin Ajayan coming up for an overlap. Eventually won't make the most. Very well done there by Mahesh Hans. Coming down deep enough, and at the end of the day, gets the job done. At the end of the first quarter, it's still goalless here at the Dhakuakhana football stadium. Right now, what's furling ahead of you is Kerala versus Odisha. Both the teams vying for supremacy. Kerala trying desperately to return to winning ways after a draw against Railway. And Odisha still scurrying for that first win pairs in the final round. Is it that very day that Kerala finally finds that dominating foothold of theirs that they kind of knitted together in the last edition of the tournament? Or will Odisha the 3 points, get the all elusive 3 points that they are so desperately, that they are so hopefully looking forward to? Throw in for Kerala once again. And I think Kerala's leading goal scorer right now, Mohammad Atsal, he's done a phenomenal job in the tournament. He was also phenomenal in Super League Kerala. Was the MVP of the tournament, and he'll be joining Kerala Blasters after completing a Santosh Trophy as the latest report which has out. Such a young talent, showing the world what he's capable of, and I think that's exactly what Santosh Trophy is all about. It's the breeding ground of Indian legends. This is one particular tournament where a lot of journeys start. This is one particular tournament where a lot of journeys find redemption, and this is one particular fray where the rivalry is at an all-time high. State versus state, top footballers of the country coming together. Seasoned campaigners dawning on their state's threat after a long time. I think this is exactly a tournament where it's all entertainment, only if you know how to get it out. The Brahma-skewed ball, to be honest, but nonetheless, failing to capitalize on that one, and the ball trickling out straight into the hands of Siddhanta Pradhan. Odisha, that's a lovely ball. And Karthik Anchal does well. Initially kind of misjudged, initially wasn't really ready for the ball coming at his way. It was a bit of a late reaction, and by the time Karthik could control that, like Kerala, the defense was a bit more active and they put in a bit more intensity. And we have a little furry friend in the center. And the audience is absolutely excited. Furry friend always gets the excitement at a higher level. Coming out for a little afternoon stroll, so why not? We have a bit of a hold up. I think he just needs to be escorted to safety so that we can get the ball rolling at the earliest. A little flick out there, getting the ball out of harm's way, throw in for Kerala. They do that quickly enough, trying to just make the most of this move. And another long ball hurled into the Kerala half, only for them to propel it all the way back to Hajmal. Kerala cool, calm and composed. Occasionally coming out with the opportunities, trying to peg back Odisha. But for now, Odisha hasn't exactly submitted to the widest stretch of offences that Kerala has knitted together. And now Odisha comes up with one of their own. That's exquisite ball control. And from the left, another cross comes in. Ajmal with a very strong hand to the ball. And now Kerala looking for a counter attack, but Odisha wins it back as well. Gaurav, another tussle for the ball. Gaurav will get hold of that. And that is just a mispass. Not in a very good position. Shijin goes on. Shijin fires home the opener. Shijin T, always on the lookout. And just the moment he got the ball to perfection, all he had to do was get in a couple of touches to set it up to perfection. There you go, wonderful first touch. The second one left the defender startled. The third one left the other defender going around in circles of despair. And Shijin making no mistake. What a glorious finish already. And Kerala finds themselves in the driver's seat. No chance for Siddhanta Pradhan. He was an uncharted territory coming out with half a heart there. And once again, the Odisha defense coming apart with the finesse of Kerala. And Shijin using that experience of his, using the dexterity of his, getting the perfect in place to propel past advancing Siddhanta Pradhan. It's already a tough equation for might have just amplified. And now Kerala, they come knock the doors. Another lovely ball out there from the left, but then thumping clearance as well. Odisha, they were not taking any prisoners out there. I think now they've understood one thing, and that is they are going to clear the ball away. Anytime and every time the ball comes knocking on their doors, the moment they have the chance, they'll push it out of the danger zone. Now the backheader trying to go for that acrobatic back volley, unfortunately ended up with a high boot. Slamming straight into his counterpart. We'll take a look at. Yeah, that boot went on to straight away hit him on his face. Have to take a look who was the man trying to block him. For now it is Ranjan Soren, Karthik. And again a bit of a cheeky touch on that. The ball popping out of the ground. Throw in for Ranjan. Kerala does well. Not for long, however. Intensity from Odisha. Ranjan knocks it forward. Karthik trying to lay claim to the ball, but the ball slipping away from his grasp, with him very helplessly seeing on. Kerala taking the throw in quickly enough. Another knock forward. Can this be a chance here? On Ashik in the box with the referee on the whistle there. For a Ashik can actually speed past his marker. That wasn't the case. We'll take a look. It was fine duel. Ashik and Abhinash Muduli. And eventually Abhinash Muduli doing the job that was assigned to him, marking Ashik very strongly on that occasion. And eventually a picture perfect tackle got the ball out of harm's way. And at the end of it all, winning a free kick as well. Kerala does well to try and get the ball out of Odisha. And they'll get a throw in as well. I think just increasing the pressure towards the fag end of that run, leading to Odisha. Get a bit of a cursory. That's exactly what Kerala wants. Just take a look at how quickly Kerala, they're kind of compounding the numbers exponentially whenever a player is on the ball. And that's it. this up back. Let's see, in these 2 minutes, can Kerala come up with the insurance goal that they are looking forward to? Odisha, to be very honest, they are still to power, a lot of immense power. It's the ball kind of power, a lot of immense power. It's the ball kind of flew past the post by whiskers, by millimeters. What an opportunity, and the opportunity goes begging. And now Kerala fighting for their own chance, keeping things as calm as possible. This is exactly what Kerala will not like. Even in the last game, they had a cushion, but then that cushion blew away. Even in the first game as well, they at one point in time were 2-0 up, and then from there, it was 2-all. No, apologies, that wasn't Kerala, that was Punjab rather. The first game, they had a 3-1 win against Punjab. They were actually trailing, and here's a chance for Kerala, and they could have actually pulled the trigger, could have got the second goal at the stroke of half time, and that changing one. But for now, Odisha, they come forward with intent, with the hunger to restore parity. But if you're hungry enough, that pass will look like a mere luxury. In Hajma, no real challenge. Almost in the last few seconds out here of the first half. Odisha still scurrying for a chance here. And that will be the final move of the first half. Welcome back for the second half of the contest, and at the end of the first half, of course, it was Kerala who called the shots, 1-0. Odisha, they'll have to come up with a bit of renewed vim and vigor if they are to try and nullify Kerala's dominance for now. Still with Odisha, and they're trying desperately, and eventually they managed to get the throw-in going their way. Nicely done there by Sandeep. I think it's a wonderful bit of control and just trying to get the ball away from the corner line. Odisha still struggling to find a bit of momentum going into this game. Hardly a handful of attacks from them, and they still haven't really found that stride of theirs. Obviously, it goes without saying, Kerala, they are a very tough side to get past. They are a very tough side to try and beat. And a bit of an injury concern there. Down on the pitch right now is Mohammad Atsal. Today, didn't really get the goal. It has been Shijin with an exquisite first touch. The way he went past a couple of defenders, that was incredible. The entire move started with a bit of an Odisha mispass. But then again, just because you get a lifeline doesn't necessarily mean that you squander it away. You make the most of it, and that's exactly what Kerala has done. Siddhanta Pradhan, once again, after a long time, gets hold of the ball. Obviously, goes without saying that both the coaches must have had some intense discussions, especially for Odisha. I think right now, they need to show a bit more urgency. Some of the urgency is that too shaky for them. They have to come up with something which can give them a bit of space out in the center, in the midfield particularly. Just take a look at the midfield. I think every time Kerala gets hold of the ball, the way they are navigating the midfield, the way they have their numbers in position, the transition gets a lot easier for them. They don't really have to struggle with the long balls coming in. For them, it's all about the distribution being done rightly enough. Odisha somehow is missing that. They're kind of relying on the long balls, and they are hoping their attackers, their marauders, just to step up straight away, hoping to forge a formidable alliance. But it isn't really working in their favor. Bit of an entanglement of boots out there in the center, and eventually Odisha did manage to sneak the ball through, only for Kerala to win it back. Shijin again through the center. Shijin trying to knock it into the feet of his teammate up front. I think it was Mohammad Atsal. Lovely little ball. Switched away to the left wing. Nice interception on that as well. But that's decent. Snatched away. A little outside tweak now. And here they keep on coming. Odisha now slowly and steadily enhancing the pressure. That's exactly what they will like to have more of. A bit more confidence in themselves and a bit more control as well. I think it makes a world of difference. Obviously goes without saying, Kerala are a powerhouse, but then in football, it's not about being a powerhouse. It's not about the past reputations. It's about winning that particular moment, seizing that particular moment. Another long cross, but straight into the hands of Hajmal there. Out of his line, gripping that comfortably enough. A little cheeky, but still manages to get the ball out of harm's way. Sandeep pushes it back to Sanju. Sanju to Hajmal. Hajmal had to come up with a clearance there. Made life a bit too difficult for himself at the end, with Odisha not having enough numbers to try and challenge his supremacy. The referee blowing the whistle, just getting that hand out there. Mohammad Ashik trying to juggle the ball. And I think he's already breached a couple of rules on that one. Another good ball forward, headed away to safety. Both the players rushing out to lay claim, but Odisha eventually wins that. But Kerala, once again, too powerful and kind of resilient, kind of persistent of the fact that they won't let the ball come in anywhere close to their own goal. I think that's very, very important. For the second half, it's kind of started on a bit of a categorical note out here for Odisha. They are coming out, they are venturing into the opposition half a lot more frequently, and Kerala kind of kept busy with a bit of defensive job to do. Can be one of those long throws, maybe. Avinash Maduli, Avera takes it short. Karthik Hantal switches it to the center. The first start slightly heavy, and that's exactly what football is all about. I think the barest of barest margins. A split, more power in the ball, and it quickly just went away from them. Football so fast-paced and such furious exchanges that unfurl ahead of us. I think you have to grab the bull by its horns, and you'll have to do that to perfection. There's no room for error. There's no room for an inkling of an error. Notice now once again coming forward. Does well to keep the ball in play. Avinash Maduli. Avinash knocking it forward here. Mahesh Hansta. Mahesh tracks it back. Arvind Lakra trying to whip across in, and the ball pummeled down to the park for a corner. There's another set piece here for Odisha, and let's see if they can try and make the most out of this one. Quickly taken, floated into the box there, and just blocked away in time. Odisha still going strong. Again, an attempted cross from Arvind Lakra doesn't see the light of the day. The Kerala defense matching Kerala's moves with equal brilliance, with equal resistance as well. If the first half was a note to their attacking intent, the second half so far has been a testimony to their defensive resilience. Still a long way to go, however, just 8 minutes in. But I think they'll have to try and stick to it. They'll have to come up with more attacks, and Odisha now, a bit of a cheap concession. Kerala trying to find that shooting lane. Again, the idea was brilliant. The execution, however, a bit too ordinary. And Odisha coming up with a fine interception there. The knuckle ball knocked forward. Unfortunately, Arvind Lakra fails to gather that one. Was a duel, a bit of a body contact as well. And Arvind Lakra kind of a bit too shaken after that, resulting in a goal kick for Kerala. I think Kerala now starting to feel the heat a bit too more than they were in the first half. It's kind of a different situation altogether. Hammers it down there, Hajmal. One back rightly. Good little ball out there onto the left. And Kerala once again on the knock forward. Siddhanta Pradhan out of his line, collecting the ball before Mohammad Atsal could make it count. Odisha once again did the hard work, kind of created something for themselves, and then deposited the ball at the feet of Kerala. Missed passes aren't exactly going to come to their aid here, but now that was a decent move by Odisha, creating some off the ball runs, eventually leading to a bit of a pressure situation. A couple of pushes out there. going down. However, looks like the last touch, it came off a Kerala player, obviously. Rather of an Odisha player. And Kerala, they have a throw and they'll exactly go forward with that one. Nice little header out there, nice little flick out there. Once again, slightly uncontrolled, to be honest, both the sides. But for now, Kerala is happy if things aren't exactly controlled by Odisha. But they'll have to try and come up with that insurance goal, because the more they delay it, they'll keep Odisha alive in this game. And you cannot just take Odisha absolutely lightly either. They are a tough team too. But now Kerala comes knocking on the doors. A little opening out there from the left, Mohammad Ashik. Possession has fallen back for Odisha. They might have some space. That's good ball control there by Arvind Lakra. And at the end of the day, another miss pass. That was indeed painful. That was indeed agonizing. I think it could have been a fine counter-attack in the making. And here's a chance again for Kerala. Ashik with the cross towards the far side. He flicked away out of the park at the expense of a throw-in. Kerala, they soaked in the attacks in the first 10 minutes, and now once again, they are starting to switch gears. They are starting to accelerate, and they are starting to amplify the kind of pressure that will leave Odisha extremely uncomfortable. But for now, I think we'll have a bit of a hold up. He's all right. He was just down on the ground, and eventually when the referee came knocking Mohammad Ashik back on his feet. Yeah, he's okay. It will be a throw-in, is it? Or are we having a substitution? Yeah. In fact, we're having 3 substitutions. That's an interesting one. Ideally, you won't see so many substitutions happening so quickly. But it is for now. Kerala. And looks like Mohammad Ashik won't play any more part in the game. He's going out. We'll quickly confirm the changes. For now, it's a long throw-in. Slightly flatter on that one. And yes, the ones who came in rather, was Sajish.
Jersey number 20, Muhammad Azhar, replaced by jersey number 11, Sajish. Jersey number 19, Muhammad K. Ashik, replaced by jersey number 12, Muhammad Azhar. And
that one goes out of the park as well.
Replaced by jersey number 18, Asif.
Right then, once again, a quick confirmation. Mohammad Atsal has been taken off. He's been replaced by the speedster, Sajish. An extremely fast footballer, and more importantly, comes in with a very meaty pile driver at times. Mohammad Ashik, he's had a good first half. But he'll play no more part in this game. And Mohammad Ashar is the man who's coming on in his place. And the other change, Arjun V. He had more of a mixed game out in the center. And Asif OM, who's impressed previously, will finally be integrated into the game. But Odisha for now trying to integrate a bit more optimism with the corner. Gaurav Negi, all set to deliver that. Can he drive home the knockout blow or the equalizer maybe? Gaurav pummels the corner, headed away to safety again. In fact, the header came from an Odisha player. It was Bishal Tigga who was trying to make the most of this move. Unfortunately, couldn't really get anywhere close to the ball, or at least impart an angle that could have led to challenges for Kerala. Nicely done again, the ball and trickling from one end to the other. Nice little twist out there. An hour of football coming to an end. Still 30 minutes to go, 30 minutes of intense action remaining. Of course, in regulation time, and I reckon around, obviously it depends on the number of stoppages that we have. That'll be added on. Odisha now resorting to passing football. Kartik Antal. Kartik switching it all the way to the right. A nice bit of work out there by the defender. Kept his eyes on the ball, kept a very keen tab on the ball's movement and getting it out of harm's way in no time at all. The long ball, but straight into the hands of Hajmal S. Too easy for him. He knows there was no pressure at all. And from there on, another attack maybe. Kerala, time and time again, have come up with moves that will change a lot of things. In the second half, they started slow, but steadily, they started garnering a lot of momentum going into the game. Odisha, however, they are looking good so far. But then when it comes to the final touch or the final shot, I think you need to do a lot better than that one. Shrikant Gadaba simply making the ball fly, and the ball flew out of the park, squandering away another opportunity. You can't simply be so profligate, particularly when you are trailing in this game. And I think he had a bit of space as well going forward. And as the footballing fundamentals suggest, if you have some space, try and drive forward as close as you can to the goal. Try and find what should possibly be a safer distance for you to at least commit to that. Because right now, Kerala, they aren't really challenged. I think despite Odisha upping their game out in the midfield, it is still Kerala who are sitting comfortable in the game. A one-goal cushion and just about presigning the opportunities. Good movement through the center. Arvind Lakra switches flanks. Avinash Maduli, where did he send the ball to? Again, he was more focused on the ideal that he'll have to play the ball forward, and he did so. But at times you have to wait for your players to take position. And this can be a move here for Kerala in the box, but that is brilliant defending again from Odisha. Good speed on fleek. And Kerala just felt like that they can break free. They did so as well. We'll take a look there. They're getting hold of the ball and almost sneaking past. And now Odisha. Again, there was a bit of an infringement. Shijin was almost ready to get his jets on and start running, but the referee's whistle stopped him in his tracks. A wonderfully done, lovely little heel flick there to control the pace of the ball. Shijin on the ball again. Shijin through the center, knocks it forward. Bit of a defensive challenge, and then the confusion leading to the foul. I think for a split second, Bishal Tigga lost the ball. We'll take a look there. Bishal then he completely made a hash of affairs going on the turn, and that kind of instigated Shajish to try and lay claim to the ball. But then by the time Shajish could come in, Vishal had already taken the ball away. And Sajish had no other option than to, just going forward with it, because again, he simply couldn't change his direction. Walking away with a verbal warning from the referee. Will have to be a bit more careful if he doesn't want a card for himself. Throw in for Kerala. Quickly taken. Does well. In fact, just couldn't get the ball in place. It propels out. Good little header out there. Now through the center. And can he control that? He does. And after all the hard work, the ball actually pops out of the park. The referee says, hold on, there's no need to rush. Of course, Odisha, I think they could have sensed out something. They could have actually come forward quicker enough. Not to be, however. A quick little switch out onto the right. With Kerala, they have done a phenomenal job so far, snatching the ball away time and time again, not really allowing Odisha much of a scope to go all guns blazing. This is their third game of the tournament, directly qualified for the final round after being runners-up in the last edition. Fought truly well in that final against Bengal, only to concede in the 94th minute. Kerala goes on, and a crucial boot to that one. A timely one as well, or else it could have been kingdom come for Odisha. There was a brilliant move in the making. Kerala very careful, very watchful, coming together with those short and crisp passes, only for the ball to be poked out towards the end. Another long throw here. Taken by Sandeep. We've seen Sandeep kind of doing the tricky things whenever it comes to throws. Let's see if he's got some trick up his sleeve out there. Guns it into the mix, and the referee blowing the whistle there. Warning a free kick to Odisha. Looks like they'll have to come out of the box there. Sajish, very unwilling, wants to be right in front of the ball, and eventually they get the ball rolling. Snatched away and eventually pushed all the way back to the goalkeeper. For now, Odisha, they're trying to get a few passes in play, trying to build a bit of consistency coming forward. You try and avoid anything like that. Of course, the passing will have to be a bit more accurate, I think. The moment they are coming close enough to the Kerala box, somehow or the other, they are missing out marks. Again, that could actually have been a very good ball. Should have been played a bit more straighter instead of that diagonal flick that came in, thereby taking the ball a bit too far away from Kerala. And now Odisha, they have some space going forward. Arvind Lakra. Arvind pushing it down the center. Still going strong enough. Good ball onto the right. And another cross towards the far side. And not to be as the ball popping out to the park again. And a couple of changes here for Odisha as well. Suresh Khadia and Ryzen Tudu will be the ones coming in.
Substitution for Team Odisha.
And Mahesh Hansa going out of the park. And Shrikant Gadaba as well.
And just number 11, Mahesh, replaced by just number 24, Ryzen.
Ryzen Tudu, of course, known for that speed of his. Let's see if he can eventually come up with something magical. Can he turn out to be the brilliant super sub that his coach expects him to be? But more importantly, I think right now it's about getting the teamwork in play. Suresh and Ryzen. Two new introductions to the mix. 19 minutes remaining, like of regulation time, of course, remaining on the clock. Throw in for now to Kerala. Will be taken by Sandeep. Sandeep had a great game so far, despite the fact that he hasn't been challenged. That is a nasty move there. Almost crunching into the Kerala player there. To take a look, Sandeep with the throw in. He was going no holds barred. Looks like he'll be okay. Asif OM came on as a substitute, a bit of a Sanju will be the one to take the free kick on that occasion. And Sanju trying to find the player onto the far right, not to be. And they go on here. Odisha now, that's an exquisite run. And phenomenal ball control too, through the center. But I think trying to check the run didn't really work out in their favor. Kerala, they had the time to quickly drop their numbers back. And Odisha once again hoping to recycle the ball back into the attacking third, all the way from behind. In fact, it goes down to their goalkeeper, Siddhanta Pradhan. And Siddhanta, clueless, optionless, decides to go for a long ball, only for the ball to sail over. In Kerala coming up with another crucial change here. Abubakar Dilshad will be the man coming on. Almost restless, almost raring to step out into the center. And we'll also have the drinks break before Abubakar can come on. Quick words being discussed there between the coaches and the players. For Odisha, obviously, these are crucial minutes here. It can very well be now or never. There you go, the quick confirmation of the change that's about to happen. And Srijit will be stepping off the field, replaced by Abubakar Dilshad.
Jersey number 6, Abubakar.
Srijit coming up with the all-important goal. This time missing out, and Odisha now fast and furiously propelling forward with intent. not to be. I think the kind of speed that Kerala has as well, that kind of gives them the all-important leeway to drop back in no time. And now Kerala, with a counter-attack, Odisha does well to intercept that one. The tussles getting a bit too hefty. Both the sides kind of showing intent. New feet in the mix. He was onside. Will stick to the ball. Comes up with the minus. Siddhanta Pradhan collecting that without a complaint. That was confidence. That was panache on display. And just gets it a bit too wrong. Kind of overrunning himself. The ball not being controlled well enough. And another chance to at least try and precipitate a counter. It goes out of the window. Bibin Ajayan, apologies. Bibin Ajayan with the throw in. Kerala. Slow and steady. They are not really focused on going all guns blazing because they know they have the game under control. Odisha hasn't really left them in any kinds of trouble. But they can come up with these sudden bursts of acceleration. And that's what Odisha will have to be very careful about. But for now, Odisha could have had a chance. Going down way too softly. Also, might have been a bit of an entanglement as well. A bit of a nutmeg as well. Hardly you will see that. And now a bit of space on the right. Flag has stayed down. And Avinash will win a corner for his team. That was a good run. A few plaudits as well from outside the park from his teammates. Really looked under control. Had the intensity. And wanted to break free too. But just couldn't get the ball in place. A watchful defending there. Another set piece for Odisha. Arpan Lakra. Arpan with the corner, a glancing header, and Kerala somehow takes care of that one. And now Kerala had the intent of trying to come up with a counter-attack. Unfortunately, they lost their footing, almost started stuttering on that one literally. Good ball control, fine step overs as well. Again, Odisha, it's not about being completely in a shell. It's also about for Odisha somehow or the other. The final third, the decisive pass that can eventually make the difference, that decisive pass hasn't come for them. They have been absolutely phenomenal until just ahead of the final third. But whether it's a cross from the right to the left or whether it's a ball down the center, I think the splitting apart part, the breaching part hasn't happened. That's because the execution has always been botchy. Once again, just take a look at when Odisha comes on the attack. From the wing play to the runs down the middle, I think all of them have been pretty extraordinary. Nicely done. Still with Odisha. A good knock forward, a little layoff towards the right. Wonderfully controlled. Goes on for that solo drive. Runs into the defense and a shot at the second post. And it will eventually pop out of the park. That was a move of intent. That was a statement made by the Odisha attackers. And that's exactly the kind of momentum that they will want out in the center. A bit of an injury concern out there for the Kerala skipper, Santosh, and he's back on his feet. Nice display of sportsmanship there from Avinash Maduli. There you go. That definitely had a lovely curling element to that. Just the ball popping out of the park. A few flickers hither and yon. That allows Odisha to come up with a forward ball only for Kerala to intercept, and now acres of space ahead. Kerala moving in tandem from outside the box. Lovely cross from the left, floated in. Possession stays alive with Kerala, and now one from the right as well. Maybe one from the center. It comes in, blocked by their own player. What a move emanating from the left. But Kerala feeling to find a bit of momentum. Mohammad Riaz was the one starting it all. A bit of a physical tussle out in the center, going over each other literally again. Different kind of shapes and sizes that we see out in the park in the center. Just the intent, just the desire to win the ball. It's kind of brilliant. Snapped. And now once again, Mohammad Riaz with a lovely step over. Mohammad Riaz missing out the frame of the goal by millimeters maybe. That was a lovely run there. Excellent footwork. Going for that outside turn, leaving the Kerala defense as mere spectators. But just couldn't keep the ball down, couldn't just spear it into the net. That is top quality movement. Kerala kind of desperate to try and find the insurance goal here. They want to put this game to bed. Odisha looking out for something of their own. In Kerala, they are well aware of the fact that trying to rely too overtly on a one-goal cushion can be menacing. They've already paid the price in the last game, and they don't want to do that again. And this will very well be the cue for them to steal away a few crucial seconds. Two more changes coming up. For Odisha, it's going to be Pintu Samal and Chandra Mohan Murmu who will be coming in.
For Team Odisha, jersey number 18, Disha, replaced by jersey number 12, Pintu, and jersey number 15, Gaurav, replaced by jersey number 20, Chandra.
Chandra Mohan Murmu coming in place of Gaurav Negi. One last lunge maybe. One last song that this team can knit together. 7 minutes remaining. A combined attack coming from all ends, where Odisha is relentless with the new feet into the center. Vishal Tigga as well taken off, with Pintu Samal taking his position. Pintu Samal has this attacking instinct, has this proclivity towards going forward, trying to create chances. Nicely brought down. Kerala still going. Kerala with a lovely chance. Mohammad Riaz drags the ball back. A bit too late, to be honest. And eventually Odisha successfully diffuses that one momentarily. Kerala still on the lookout for more chances, but that could have been an incredible ball. Mohammad Riaz suddenly activating himself and coming up with those excellent balls altogether. Finally, the referee blowing the whistle. A bit of a switch for Mohammad Riaz. We'll take a look once again. That was the foul, however. Yeah, eventually a bit of frustration, like a follow-through of that frustration, the venting out, the paroxysm from the Odisha defenders. They still have 5 minutes to try and restore world order here at the Dhakuakhana Football Stadium. Or is this another defeat that they are heading into? Another good ball forward. Nice header. The referee once again blowing the whistle. Pushed away. We'll take a look. Yeah, I think it was more of a brush off there. Both the players almost tumbling on to each other. And Odisha with another change. Jeetu Muduli will be the man coming on. And this is a surprising change. Ranjan Soren going off.
Odisha, jersey number 22, Ranjan, replaced by jersey number 19, Jeetu.
So Jeetu Muduli, with Jeetu Muduli coming on, they'll turn into a conventional 4-4-2 unit for the last few minutes. Just to get in a bit more firepower, they do not want Suresh Kharia to be the only forward up there. Because ahead of this, they were playing 4-2-3-1. Now they have changed to 4-4-2. So a bit more firepower going up, considering the fact that they are hungry, they are famished for that equalizer. Let's see if this tactic change can eventually come to their help, come to their deliverance, and they can walk away with another point. Again, it won't be too promising, but again, it's always better than walking with no points. Mohammad Riaz on the ball. Riaz with a little outside curve, but Odisha actually do a fine job of taking the ball, snatching the ball away. Nicely done. Not for long, however. Straight into the defenders. The battle goes on and on and on. Once again, conceding possession at a very volatile juncture. Can Kerala punish Odisha for that? The idea wasn't bad, hoping to find the right pair of feet out there. But Odisha doing well, only for Kerala to snatch the ball back in a second. Incredible ball into the center. Still staying strong with Kerala. A chance again. However, the shot is going a bit too wide. Sajish. Sandeep doing the heavy lifting on the left. An incredible minus, Sajish. Going for that little outside movement there. But the angle was a bit too tough for him to try and converge that towards the goal. Not a bad idea. Just take a look at that center out there. Ideally, the snatching happens out in the defensive third, but Kerala almost winning every ball. Once again, in that midfield, they're so good. And now it can be 3 versus 2. Good little layoff onto the far right, a bit of pushing and showing. That kind of works out. But now, referee says they're all by the books, of course. An extremely soft push, to be honest. There might be some movement. Once again, a lovely ball lead off from the far right. Arjun MM. But Arjun not able to get the ball from where a potential chance could have been created. 88 minutes on the clock already, and the game goes on. 2 more minutes, in fact 1 more minute of regulation time coming up, followed by whatsoever will be added on. Can they keep the ball in play? Kerala actually keeps the ball in play. And then pummels in a corner. Pummels in a cross. However, the ball doesn't go close to the goal. Again, wonderful footwork. But Odisha does well to capitalize, and Odisha snaps the ball out for now. Heated instructions being hollered out from the sides. In Kerala with another change, also to try and kill away a few seconds. Mohammad Sanan will be making his way to the center. And Mohammad Riaz will be stepping out.
Substitution for Team Kerala. Jersey number 7, Muhammad Riaz, replaced by jersey number 30, Muhammad Sinan.
90 minutes has gone by. It's about the additional time now. Let's see how many more minutes get added on. 5 minutes, which means 300 seconds of some intense drama, maybe, or some intense footballing exchanges. Can Odisha come up with a late twist in the game? A good little switch on to the left. And now they come together in tandem, hoping to rattle the confidence of Kerala. And again, trying to go for a volley. Urban Lakra certainly had a few thoughts in his mind, a few fancy ones, of course. But then a timely block by Kerala at the expense of a corner. We are not yet done out here at the Dhakuakhana football stadium. Arpan Lakra, can he deliver the ball from where a chance can be created? Comes in and the ball suddenly trickling out. It looks like there was a bit of a push on the goalkeeper. The referee has exactly pointed that one out. Hajmales, he's had a very good game today, had to come up with a few saves. Yeah, nothing substantial, of course. Came up with a couple of clean collections. He's pretty solid in terms of his positioning. And I think he's kind of created a case for himself. They wanted a bit of reliability in the back, and that's exactly why Hajmal had to come in place of Alkesh, who played the first couple of games. Conceded a couple of goals as well, collectively, of course, in the next two games. And today, Hajmal coming up, and in all likelihood, if he's able to keep that clean sheet, I think his coach might have an answer to the goalkeeping conundrums that they have been up against. Long throw to be hurled in there by Sandeep. Sandeep hoping to keep the ball as far away as from their half as possible. Odisha, I think, will have to try and come up with a bit of movement now. Commit numbers here. Karthik Hantal trying to sneak one of those balls in. But Karthik doesn't really get the leeway that he was looking forward to. Again, not the best of passes. We talk about passing accuracy. But that certainly wasn't something accurate, to be honest. And the ball out of the park. 90 seconds, in fact, less than 90 seconds remaining in this game. The audience still glued to their seats. And always, every single day, we are having a game out here. It's been a packed house at the Dhakuakhana Football Stadium. Not just Dhakuakhana Football Stadium, even in Silapatha Football Stadium as well. The 79th edition of National Football Championship for Santosh Trophy has been a hit so far in Assam. And I think with every passing day, with the kind of football that we are witnessing, it won't be surprising if every single day turns out to be a packed house. We're in the last minute of the game. Kerala, they can sense out their second win of the final rounds. The first one came in their very first game. Looks like it was a bit of a challenge. And out of nowhere, almost breaking free, Mohammad Ashar. Unfortunately, the ball kind of took a bit of an overhit there. And that will fly out of the park as well. Another quick throw there. Odisha through the center. And a shot from distance, a very emasculated one. And Hajmales finally capping off what has been a resounding day for him under the sticks with another clean collection, despite the fact that the ball didn't really have much of a sting in it. I think the way Hajmal collected it was a testimony to the tactical brilliance, was a testimony to getting the technicalities pinned to the tee. And with the final whistle, we have our winner. Kerala will walk away victorious. A phenomenal performance, a dominant performance.
Team Kerala,
Despite the fact that they failed to score another goal, just that solitary goal from Shijinti was more than enough for them to secure 3 points. And Kerala returned to winning ways, 7 points from 3 games, just the kind of momentum that they wanted up front in the final rounds. It's not easy being the finalist of the last year. This year they are gunning for reparations. This year they are gunning for redemption. And for that they needed momentum. And this victory will do a world of good to their confidence and panache. Final scoreline, Kerala 1 and Odisha 0. Odisha slumping to their second defeat in the 3 games in the final rounds that they have played. And with that being said, we call it a day today at the Dhakuakhana Football Stadium. Final scoreline, Kerala 1 and Odisha 0. Thank you everyone for joining in. Stay tuned to FIFA Plus for